صدق الله العظيم. Al-Imam al-Shafi'i once said, آية من القرآن الكريم هي سهم في قلب الظالم وبلسم على قلب المظلوم. قيل له وما هي؟ فقال وما كان ربك نسيا. صدق الله العظيم. So Imam al-Shafi'i said that there is an ayah in the Quran which scares he who is an oppressor and is a breath of fresh air for him who is oppressed. They asked him, which ayah is that? Which verse of the Quran is that? He answered, وَمَا كَانَ رَبُّكَ نَسِيًّا, closely translated as, your Lord God is never forgetful. He does not forget things. And the reason I'm mentioning this is that there is a mood that is now globally floating among people. People are nervous. People are waiting. People are asking questions. What's going to happen? Simply because a man made a declaration. Don't worry. I'm still keeping my promise. No politics. But I want to try to put ourselves in the situation of a response as believers, as Jama'at al-Mu'mineen. So we cannot ignore politics, even though we're not going to analyze them. But we are going to interact. We are going to find out how we can react to our environment. So people are scared. We cannot deny that. People do not know what's going to happen next week. People are commenting, asking, talking. Simply, they are scared. And here, I would like to say that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us a nasiha, how to respond during times like this, where there's lots of killing, where there's lots of bloodshed, where there is fear all over the world. And you may be surprised, and you may think that this nasiha, nastaghfirullah, because we cannot attribute that description, but just simply if shaitan would put in our mind that this nasiha is too simplistic, let's say that, let's assume that. But it is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam who gave that nasiha, and he said, عبادة في الهرج كهجرة إلي, كهجرة إلي, and indirectly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said, if there is harj, and harj is spread of killing, bloodshed everywhere. So he said, if you would take yourself from all of that and concentrate on your ibadah, concentrate on dua, concentrate on salat, concentrate on i'tikaf fil masajid, come to the masjid and just ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be the one to take the amr, al-amru li sahib al-amr. He said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that if you resort to concentrate on your ibadah, this is the best response during such times. Simplistic? Well, this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. And in the dua, the supplication that is widely spread among Muslims, Allahumma la tusallit alayna bidhunubina man la yakhafuka fina wa la yarhamuna. This is ibadah. Ad-dua مخ العبادة. So if we will now keep repeating this dua, this is the best we can do. This is the best response. Stop talking politics. Stop making theories about what's going to happen next week. Stop getting worried. Stop getting tense. Just keep saying and feeling from the bottom of your heart, Allahumma la tusallit alayna بذنوبنا من لا يخافك فينا ولا يرحمنا. And Allah will take care of us. Oh Allah, do not let unleashed on us he who does not fear you in us, nor will have mercy on us simply because of our sins that we have been committing. You know, if you repeat this dua, then you will feel good. And today I would like to expand on why should we feel good. Because one of the 99 attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is al-wakil. Is al-wakil. And al-wakil, with the alif and the lam being a proper adjective, was mentioned as al-wakil once in Al-Quran Al-Kareem. But it was mentioned wakil without the alif and the lam many times. So what is al-wakil? Al-wakil is Allah in whose hands we put all our affairs, and we believe that He will take care of us. Believe that He will take care of us, because we are the people who claim to be believers. To be believers. And what is the definition of believers in Al-Quran Al-Kareem? Last night I shared a khatira after Isha. And alhamdulillah, we started to see many people attend at the center, alhamdulillah. And the khatira is the definition of the believer. Who is the believer? Who are the believers? You would like to know who we are. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يتوكلون الذين يقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون أولئك هم المؤمنون حقا لهم درجات عند ربهم ومغفرة ورزق كريم. صدق الله العظيم. These are the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إنما المؤمنون, verily that true believers are they who, whenever God is mentioned in their presence, their hearts tremble with expectation. It is not just anyone being mentioned, it is Allah. What's coming next after Allah is mentioned? وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. If the ayat, if the verses of Allah are recited before them, their faith always keeps going up and up and up and increasing. وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. So there are three things to this definition. They fear Allah with expectation, and their hearts start to, you know, whenever your emotions, whenever your passion, whenever you start to feel something, your heart is the first organ of your body to tell you that something is going on inside you. It's your heart, always. If you love extensively, you point to your heart. And if you get angry, you feel it in your heart. If you are afraid, again, your heart is the first organ to tell you you are scared. The heart is that place that tells you things first. So, number one, whenever God is mentioned, ask yourself, how do I feel? Whenever someone recites or you read or you recite an ayah from the Quran, what happens to your faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number 3, وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. We have difficulty, we depend on Allah. We have a catastrophe, we go back to Allah. We have anything that we need help with, we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَعَلَى رَبِّهِمْ يَتَوَكَّلُونَ. الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسِ. Do you remember the story of Munir El-Kassem after the battle of Uhud? I mentioned it many times. The companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam were exhausted. They were finished. They could not move. But they were called to keep going to Munir El-Kassem. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described that behavior. Described them who depended on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. الَّذِينَ قَالَ لَهُمُ النَّاسُ إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَاخْشَوْهُمْ فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا وَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. Those people, when they were told, the armies are amassed against you, can we cast this on what was announced? That there will be huge forces amassed. And people are now, no, don't be scared. What you have to do, وَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the wakil, ذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ فَاعْبُدُوهُ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٌ. In Surah Al-An'am, ذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Everything in this universe is created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's under the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not under the control of a declaration. It is not under the control of political and military pacts. The universe is not under the control of a vote that is passed in this house or that house. This universe is under the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ فَاعْبُدُوهُ. Now فَاعْبُدُوهُ. Can we go back to hadith of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? فَاعْبُدُوهُ عِبَادَةٌ فِي الْهَرْجِ كَهِجْرَةٍ إِلَيْهِ. عِبَادَةٌ فِي الْهَرْجِ. So this is the فَاعْبُدُوهُ. This is the time now to bring back our ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to a focus. To a focus. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that creator who does not leave even a worm in the midst of a rock, but takes care of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our creator. So we have to feel content and we have to feel comfortable. One time, as At-Tirmidhi reported through the authority of one of the youngest transmitters of hadith, he was a very young Sahabi by the name of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri reported that once Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was talking about the signs of the Day of Judgment. So he said, وَكَيْفَ أَنْعَمْ وَكَيْفَ أَنْعَمْ وَصَاحِبُ الْقَرْنِ أي إسرافيل قَدْ أَمْسَكَ بِالْقَرْنِ وَحَنَى جَبْهَتَهُ وَأَصْغَى لكي يسمع بما يؤمر. فسمع صحابة رسول الله ذلك فشق عليهم فقالوا يا رسول الله نحن خائفون. فقال قولوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. يا الله, يا Allah. Look, even in those extreme moments of fear, you have nothing better to do or say than Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. So the story is, as reported by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was talking about the signs of the Day of Judgment. So he said, how could I relax meaning relax, that how could I forget that he who is in charge of blowing the horn to usher the day of judgment, that is Israfil, had already held the horn in his hand and took position, وَأَحْنَى جَبْهَتَهُ, and took position and is already sharply waiting for the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Sahaba, the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "O Messenger of Allah, we are scared." He said, "Don't be. All you have to do is say, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel." Some people say, you know, what you have just said so far can be accepted by people who are, you know, naive politically. Again, I say these are ayat of the Quran. These are hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let me just share with you a couple of stories from Al-Quran Al-Kareem, and these are historical events. You know the story, just imagine yourself, and it's a historical fact, it's something that happened, and see how tawakkul ala Allah can solve everything. Do you know a prophet by the name of Yunus or the Noon? You know the Noon, what happened to the Noon? He was swallowed by a killer whale. He was swallowed by a killer whale. Now, imagine yourself in his place. You already entered into the stomach of the killer whale. It's pitch dark. You're finished. What's the probability of you now being saved from this scenario? The probability, according to our science, is 0. But the Noon, Yunus, what did he do or say? فَنَادَى رَبَّهُ فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَن لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ سُبْحَانَكَ إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ وَكَشَفْنَا عَنْهُ الْغُمَّ أو وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغُمَّ. Now look what happened. Look what happened. Now when Yunus found himself in that situation, what did he do? He said, he turned to Allah, أَن لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ سُبْحَانَكَ إِنِّي كُنْتُ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Oh Allah, there is no deity, no one to be worshipped but you. Oh Allah, I confess that I had been among the transgressors. فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered his call. And what happened? وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغُمَّ. And we saved him from his trouble. And the whale just basically got him out of his stomach. Because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being in full control. Is this a story you may say that this is a story that applied only to the Noon, to Yunus, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala transformed this story into a law. It's a law, it's a rule. Because after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكَذَلِكَ نُنَجِّي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Not only the Noon, immediately, وَكَذَلِكَ نُنَجِّي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So if you are in such a situation of despair, and you shouldn't be in despair, because if you are in despair, as I will mention in a few moments, then you are treading the path of kufr. Because to lose hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is similar to declare rejection of faith. And this is not right. So therefore you have to believe, وَكَذَلِكَ نُنَجِّي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَّامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ وَلِيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلِيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا Allah wants to test our faith in Him by always depending on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another story. وقال أصحاب موسى إنا لمهلكون, as we read in Surah Al-Shu'ara. What happened? They were running away from Fir'aun, and all of a sudden they came to a dead end. How come? The sea is in front of them. Behind them is Fir'aun and his troops. So they're gone. قال أصحاب موسى إنا لمهلكون. That's it. That's our end. We're gone. قال كلا موسى إن معي ربي سيهدين. So what are you talking about? No, we are not finished, because Allah is with us. Musa was a believer. So were the people following him. They were expected to be believers. كلا إن معي ربي سيهدين. Therefore, we have to believe that Allah, as He described Himself in Al-Quran Al-Kareem, فعال لما يريد. هل أتاك حديث الجنود فرعون وثمود بل الذين كفروا في تكذيب والله من ورائهم محيط بل هو قرآن مجيد. What you read in the Quran is what you have to follow, provided that you are a believer. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فيا فوز المتقين. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah will accept our dua. Ameen ya Rabb al-Alamin. الحمد لله وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم لا تستدرجنا بالنعم ولا تفاجئنا بالنقم ولا تجعلنا عبرة للأمم ولا تنزل علينا السقم والألم وأعطنا من فضلك من النعم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Oh Allah, do not let luxuries blind our eyes to realities, and do not take us by surprise through a disaster we cannot tolerate, and do not make us a lesson to our enemies, and do not withhold from us your favors. O Allah, deal with us as believers, and we promise that we will do our best to improve our faith in you. Faith is not a claim. Faith is not when we come to the masjid. Faith is not when we are in need. Faith is a permanency, is a state of mind and a condition of the heart. Faith is the way we deal with each other. Faith is the way we respond to things that happen to us. Faith is that key that we use to open the difficult matters that we face. Faith is that beautiful thing that we strengthen ourselves with in preparation for the continuation of our journey of life. We know that this life is not the end. This life is just a continuation on the highway of life towards Jannah, inshallah. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we will meet Him and see Him when we are on a state of Iman. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that these things that are happening to us will be only to reconnect us with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-An'am, tells us that when you see these things around you, it's because I am reminding you to come back to me. Don't lose your focus, because when we see so many things that are so attractive, so tempting, we lose our focus that we are driving in a straight fashion. You know, when you are driving on the highway and something around you that just even takes your sight for a moment, you look again and you find that you have gone from the straight path and you try to adjust. But sometimes if you spend a long time looking at that distraction, you may hit something. You may run into another car. You may put yourself in danger. So don't spend a long time looking at distractions. I know we cannot claim that we are going to go through life without distractions. Everything in life is a distraction. But we've got to quickly come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And sometimes scary, unpleasant sound from a horn of a car next to you to tell you, hey, you almost hit me. You just get startled, but you save your life and the life of the person next to you in the other car. So sometimes when we see and hear and discover there's something unpleasant almost going to happen to us, it's because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, come back. You almost endangered your life. The life of Jannah, that is. The life of Jannah, that is. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Al-An'am, قُلْ أَرَأَيْتَكُمْ إِنْ أَتَاكُمْ عَذَابُ اللَّهِ أَوْ أَتَتْكُمُ السَّاعَةِ أَغَيْرَ اللَّهِ تَدْعُونَ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ بَلْ إِيَّاهُ تَدْعُونَ. Let me stop here and then continue, and then I won't take much of your time because we have a celebration afterwards. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, consider that if you are surrounded with a kind of difficulty, or even consider the extreme ultimate difficulty, which is the difficulty of the day of judgment, would you call on anyone for help other than Allah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is answering that for us. بَلْ إِيَّاهُ تَدْعُونَ. No, you're not going to ask. Even if you claim that, oh, I don't believe in these things, when something hurts, you say, Ya Allah, Ya Allah. بَلْ إِيَّاهُ تَدْعُونَ فَيَكْشِفُ. This is the result now. Look at the result. فَيَكْشِفُ مَا تَدْعُونَ إِلَيْهِ إِنْ شَاءَ. And the ultimate result, وَتَنْسَوْنَ مَا تُشْرِكُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants this to happen so that you will abandon your tendencies of shirk. وَتَنْسَوْنَ مَا تُشْرِكُونَ. So Allah let that difficulty come your way to save you. Because Allah loves you. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ أَلَّا تَخَافُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَبْشِرُوا بِالْجَنَّةِ الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ نَحْنُ أَوْلِيَاؤُكُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ. Allah says that the angels will be brought to you to be your guardian angels and protect you and save you and be with you. And don't ever forget that this parliament may vote, and that parliament may reject, and that parliament will overwhelmingly support, and that will do this, and that will form a pact, and that will do this, and that will do that. But ultimately, Allah فعال لما يريد. أنا أريد وأنت تريد والله يفعل ما يريد. I may have a wish, you may have another wish, but in the end, what passes is Allah's wish. So don't say, I want, he wants, they want, who, because it is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, what's the summary of today's khutbah? The summary is, don't worry, keep on smiling, be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and keep making that dua, Allahumma la tusallit alayna bidhunubina man la yakhafuka fina wa la yarhamuna. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وخطايانا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه، وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم علمنا من ديننا ما جهلنا وذكرنا منه ما نسينا، وكن معنا ولا تكن علينا. عباد الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم، ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. وأقم الصلاة.